did Albert Pujols manage to make 700 home runs? How had he been able to go on such a tremendous home run tear, hitting 12 home runs since the 10th of August, getting to 700 home runs in the last weeks of his final season? How had the legendary Cardinals hitter, who is now 42 years old, starting hitting like he did when he was younger? Albert Pujols has become the 4th National League player to hit 700 home runs along with Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth. Albert Pujols gave one of the most memorable farewell performances in the annals of sports history. He has achieved 700 home runs in his career recently. He had joined the likes of Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, and Babe Ruth as the 4th player in baseball history to hit 700 home runs.
Here's Albert Pujols by the numbers. The St. Louis Cardinals slugger is the newest member of the exclusive 700 home run club.
He did it as a 42-year-old, coming back with the Cardinals and playing what he had played his final season. He got there with a throwback tear that called to mind the usual mashing of his early career. This story is brought to mind the routine mashing of his early career. In the final weeks of his Hall of Fame career, seeing Albert Pujols hit had become a matter of civic pride and baseball pride.
Come on, people. You're watching greatness. Appreciate it while it's upon us.
He had mashed lefties. Pujols was never a platoon specialist throughout his time in the majors. However, the power spike was coming from him being able to destroy left-handed pitching. Since the 10th of August, 9 of Pujols' 12 home runs had come against left-handed pitchers. He was using everything he had against them at this point. Since the 10th of August, the exit velocity that Pujols had averaged against left-handed hitters is 96.8 miles per hour. His anticipated slugging percentage versus left-handed hitters was .950, based on the kind of contact he made against them. Over 1 out of every 5 of his at-bats against left-handed pitchers had resulted in a barreled ball, which referred to a hit in which the ball was struck with the proper exit velocity and launched angle to produce an extra base hit or home run. When facing left-handed pitchers, Pujols' exit velocity ranked second best in the major leagues throughout that period. His XSLG and barrel rate per plate appearance was superior to the competition. Pujols had a career batting average of .301 and an OPS of .954, and he was hitting .352 with a 1.154 OPS against left-handers this season. However, he had been hitting right-handers so well that it was hard to take his bat out of the lineup. Pujols had a career batting average of .301 and an OPS of .95. Schumacher, a former utility guy who played with Albert Pujols from 2005 to 2012, claimed that the roots of Pujols' home run barrage went further back than the Derby. It was possible that the turning point came from a line-out hit to left field at a speed of 102.5 miles per hour against the left-handed pitching of Will Smith of the Atlanta Braves on the 7th of July. He got a head start on pitching. Pujols is known for his deliberate approach to the plate throughout his career. For instance, he tends to only swing at the first pitch approximately once every 6 times he is at bat, which is one of the lowest first pitch swing rates in the league on average.
What I concentrate is, first of all, where the pitch is, and just hit the ball where that pitch is.
Albert Pujols had a first pitch swing rate of 18%, which was consistent with his performance in previous seasons. Since the 10th of August, it has been 28%. This boldness paid well dividends. Since the 10th of August, 4 of Albert Pujols' 12 home runs have been hit on the first pitch. More than half of his home runs during this streak have been hit within the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, as demonstrated by the fact that 3 more have been hit on the second pitch. No hitter has hit more home runs on the first 2 pitches of an at-bat than Albert Pujols, who has 7 home runs to his name. Aaron Judge, Julio Rodriguez, and Bo Bichette all have 6 home runs to their names. It is tied for the most by any batter with Ronald Acuna Jr., who also had 4 home runs on the opening pitch. He slugged while holding 2 strikes. Even if he didn't leap on any early pitch and go deep, Albert Pujols would have stayed competitive until the end of the at-bat. which also paid off with late count home runs. Pujols has nearly the same number of home runs, 12, as strikeouts 16. 4 home runs were hit with 2 strikes, the same number of home runs that were shot on the first pitch. Max Muncy, Paul Goldschmidt, and Dalton Varsho are the only 3 batters since the 10th of August who has more 2-strike home runs than Albert Pujols. Max Muncy has 6, and both Paul Goldschmidt and Dalton Varsho have 5. Even after an at-bat goes to 2 strikes, Pujols still slugged .617 while he was on a roll, the second best in the majors. During the same period, the overall slugging percentage in Major League Baseball with 2 strikes is .259. He hits fastball from any location. Since the 10th of August, 8 of the 12 home runs that Pujols has hit are off fastballs. Only Eugenio Suarez has taken more fastballs deep over that time. Albert Pujols, his former teammate Mike Trout, and his current colleague Paul Goldschmidt is tied for second place in this category. He slugged 800 versus fastballs. The pitcher has consistently left sliders up and in the middle of the plate, leading to all the runs being scored. 3 of those sliders have been located in the very center of the strike zone. These are examples of accurate middle pitches, which StatCast refers to as meatballs.
Pujols has done it again.
When I think of Albert Pujols, that home run off of Brad Lidge, that's the one hit I always think of. That stadium went from so loud to so quiet.
One of the most assistant players I've ever seen.
The first player in big league history to hit 30 or more home runs in each of his first 12 seasons.
This demonstrated what Pujols has been up to all this time. Since the 10th of August, he had a slugging percentage of 1.087 while facing breaking pitches inside the strike zone. He smashed curveballs and off-speed pitches that are outside the strike zone. An absence of suspicion. There was a day not too long ago when a home run onslaught by a 42-year-old would raise doubts, but those issues have been put to rest. In San Diego, where Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. is serving a lengthy suspension after testing a performance-enhancing drug, these are not outlandish things to raise. Throughout his career, Pujols has never once been plagued by any kind of problem whatsoever. He has been an upstanding member of the team and a model for others to follow, and that is something that deserves praise. There have never been any legitimate claims against Albert Pujols. He had never had an outlier performance, such as hitting 50 home runs in a single season. His career in the major leagues began in 2001, the beginning of the so-called steroid era. This was also the year Barry Bonds established the record for most home runs in a single season with 73, which raised questions about the legitimacy of other forms. But Albert Pujols has spent most of his career playing baseball in an era where the sport has been a leader in the fight against doping in sports. According to Travis Tuckart, CEO of the United States Anti-Doping Agency, the light switch went on in baseball. In addition to that, they enacted a program that safeguards athletes who compete without doping. In point of fact, it is remarkable to notice that neither fans nor sports journalists have expressed any skepticism regarding Albert Pujols' progress towards 700 career home runs, or Aaron Judge's record-setting performance in terms of home runs hit in a single season. According to Tuckart, baseball has gained the public's trust due to the comprehensive measures it has taken to combat doping. This year, Pujols has been successful because both of his contact skills and his strength. As expected, Pujols' performance has gone up at the same time that his exit velocity has gone up. He used to always have average exit speeds between 90 and 91 miles per hour, but in the last 2 months, he has gotten faster. Part of this change could be due to a change in how people think. The 3-run homer that Pujols hit against Dodgers reliever Phil Bickford made history, which is the same place where his 2-run shot off left-handed Andrew Heaney in the previous inning landed. Pujols got a long-standing ovation from the crowd. He played for the Dodgers for the rest of last season. He took a curtain call and tipped his hat in thanks.
I'd like to thank God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for giving me this platform to be here tonight. Seeing the happy face makes me realize how special life is.
When he was batting .189 on July 4, it seemed unlikely that Albert Pujols would hit 700 home runs. But the three-time NL MVP started hitting better in August. He hit 7 home runs in 10 games, which helped St. Louis pull away in the race for the division. It has been incredible up until now. There is nothing that can be compared to that. It is not very common for players who had spent the previous 5 years barely capable of making the major leagues embark on a multi-month run among the finest hitters in the world. During this stretch of games, the only players with superior OPS figures were Aaron Judge, who also has a stellar track record, and JT Realmuto, who plays catcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. Albert Pujols' OPS for the season is at .852, and his league-adjusted OPS plus figure sits at 142. It indicates that throughout the year, Pujols has hit at a rate that is 42% higher than the norm. It would be naive to think that baseball will ever see another couple of months like Pujols' most recent ones again. A one-of-a-kind career has reached its one-of-a-kind conclusion. The last few months that Pujols has played baseball have been a gift from the gods of baseball that fans of this sport may never witness again.
I'm blessed with the career that I had. I still always say something in the dugout which is really special. It was a special night to do it here in Dodger Stadium, but it was even special to do it with this uniform.
That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have anything to share regarding this, be sure to tell us in the comments below. Make sure to hit like and press that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.